By the mid-15th centuries, the Byzantine Empire had long been in decline but still remained an important bastion of Christian Europe facing Muslim Asia. The strong walls, Greek fire, and its strategic location helps it to survive after numerous invasions like the Fourth Crusade and the battle with Arabs. Constantinople is strategically located because it can control the trade routes between the Aegean Sea and the Black Sea. It also separates Asia to Europe. After the city was captured and sacked by Crusaders in 1204, the Byzantine Empire, which is the Eastern Roman Empire, was severely eroded. By the capital city of Roman Empire, Constantinople is left because of its unbreakable walls. The Ottoman Turks had already extended their territories to the Balkans as well as Asia Minor. Constantinople had enormous value to the Ottomans since it is both as a center of the rival Christian faith and a symbol of imperial powers. Sultan II Mehmed wanted to be the commander because he remembered that Prophet Muhammad once mentioned the conqueror of Constantinople. One day, Constantinople will be conquered. How wonderful and blessed are the commander of its conquest and his soldiers. Decades ago. In 1451, the empire of Constantine Palaiologos had been reduced to the area around Constantinople as well as a large part of the Peloponnese in Greece. When Mehmed II began to conquer Constantinople in the spring of 1453, the city was weak, but it is still difficult to capture through the attack. Already have a fortress on the Asian side of the Bosporus, Mehmed began the construction of Rumeli Hisari on the European shore. Taking control of the strait, Mehmed's ship cut off Constantinople from the Black Sea and also cut off any aid that might have come from Genoese colonies in the region. Mehmed besieged the city in early April using a force between 75,000 and 100,000 men and a large fleet. Constantine was forced to appeal to Pope Nicholas, a bishop of Rome, for aid. Despite centuries of being opponents between Orthodox and Catholic churches, Nicholas still tried to help, but he can't do anything since there are already many conflicts and there are no spearmen. Minor help came from groups of independent soldiers, and among these were 700 professional troops under the command of Giovanni Giustiniani, an Italian commander. Short of men, Constantine decided to put most of his soldiers to defending the Theodosian walls. Constantine reinforced the massive Theodosian walls and the walls in the northern Blachernate district. He also ordered for a large chain, the Great Chain, to be stretched across the opening of the harbor to block Ottoman ships from entering. Mehmed's army, led by Beltaglu Soleme Bey, an admirable in the Ottoman Empire, numbered somewhere between 80,000 and 120,000 men by the time they approached the city. At the same time, the Ottoman ships with cannons and many soldiers carrying guns were in the Sea of Marmara ready to attack. The Ottoman armies arrived outside Constantinople on April 1st, 1453, and began to set camp the next day. On April 5th, Mehmed arrived with the last of his troops and began making preparation for capturing the city. While Mehmed had the majority of his army surrounding Constantinople, he sent troops to clear the region where the enemy's small military camps are located. After the preparation, they began to use fire using the cannon at the impenetrable Theodosian walls. However, they didn't success. The gun required 3 hours to reload it, giving enough time to the Byzantines to repair the damage caused between the shots. On the water, the Ottoman boats was unable to penetrate the chain and boom across the Golden Horn. Mehmed ordered that several ships be rowed across Galata on oily logs. The Ottoman armies managed to get the ships inside the chain and they fired to the enemy's ship. Because there are too many enemies and enemies use Greek fire to fire at them, their boat got destroyed. Failing to penetrate the Theodosian walls, Mehmed ordered his men to dig tunnels to mine between the Byzantine defenses. Unfortunately, the Byzantines were prepared. They replied with digging countermines and intercepted the Ottomans under the ground, managing to complete the destruction of all mines on May 25th. Even though the Byzantines won, they lost morale when they found out that there would not be any help coming from Venice, Italy. A series of omens, including an unexpected fog which blanketed the city on May 26, were taken as a sign that Constantinople was about to fall. On May 26, Mehmed called his commanders and they decided to do a massive assault on the night of May 28, after a period of rest and prayers in Constantinople. Shortly before midnight on May 28, Mehmed sent his support troops forward. Their job is to wear out the defenders and kill as many people as possible to weaken their resistance. Then troops from Anatolia attacked the weakened Blachernay walls, a wall that connects with Theodosian wall. But they were driven back by Giovanni Giustinian, an Italian general. The defenders in Blachernay held until Giustinian was badly wounded. Their defenses began to collapse when Giustinian died. To the south, Constantine was fighting fiercely, defending the walls in the Lucas Valley. But Constantine's position began to collapse when the Ottomans found that the Kirkoporta gate to the north had been left open. The Ottomans poured into the city from several gates. Constantine was killed when fighting the invading enemies. Mehmed ordered his men to protect important buildings of the city and allowed them to plunder Constantinople for 3 days. The fall of Constantinople was the end of the Byzantine Empire. The Christian Orthodox faith lost its stronghold, with the Catholic Church becoming the dominant religious power in Europe. With the conquest, Ottomans became an empire and one of the most powerful empires. After conquering Constantinople, the Ottomans began their journey to conquer the rest of Europe. For the first alternative, if Constantine remembered to close all the gates, the Greek fire's geography locations, their weapons, and their great chain will definitely help them to fight against the Ottomans. They will become prosperous and become a strong empire again.